You've paid your $5, now let's get into Stick and Puck.
Welcome back to another session of Stick and Puck, brought to you by On the Bench with Beeks and Between the Pipes podcast. I am Beeks from On the Bench with Beeks, and I am joined by Keits from Between the Pipes podcast.
That's right. Another session going on. What's going on, Cody?
Number 4, feeling really good. Last time we actually talked, there's been a lot of stuff going on. We got the NHL playoffs. We got the IIHF World Championships.
Yeah, we got World Championships going on, and I appreciate your jersey, man. You're rocking the Svenska.
Of course, gotta go.
And I gotta get my team Latvia going here, because you know why. We don't need to get into it.
You know why. And some other stuff has happened. I mean, some really weird stuff, and I think we're going to kind of get into a little bit of all of it real quick.
Things we can laugh about, discuss, debate, whatever. It's been a little about a month since we did one of these again, so.
Oh, for real. So the first thing, like you and I both agreed, we were kind of like a little giggle Fitzgeralds on this one. Al Saboka getting fired after 51 years of being the Zamboni driver for
the Red
Detroit.
Wings Zamboni guy. Yeah, so the short story there is, old Al was working at the Little Caesars. Mind you, he's been with the Red Wings for 51 years, so he's worked at the old arena before that got torn down.
That's half a century, right?
So he's been a loyal Red Wings guy, Zamboni guy, whatever you want to call him. Apparently, guy has he's up there in age. He's an older fella, and he has some sort of a prostate medical issue where, if he needs to go, he needs to go, sort of thing.
Right.
Not to make fun of anything, but just kind of straight to the point and.
Just laying it all out there, giving a little context for sure.
Long story short, old Al was working, and he had to go, and instead of finding the closest bathroom, he decided to kind of do it in the drain between some Zambonis or something. And there was a Karen that might have seen the video, and yeah, that's it for the old Al. He's no longer part of the Red Wings organization. What are your thoughts about it, though?
Well, when I first saw it, before I knew any context about the whole thing, I was just like, dude, are you serious? You just gonna drop a pee right in the middle of a game, in the water drain, and then you see the guy's got a bit of a problem, a medical problem, which I mean, nobody's completely clear of these problems. I mean,
sure.
Look at me, I pee into a bag. But it's weird. It's a dicey situation, but I mean,
it is.
When you first look at it, you're like, peeing in a drain for real, dude. I mean, you couldn't have gone to the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's so, it's, again, like any situation, it's easy to sit here on the sidelines, and judge and see. Who knows what the real story behind that was, who knows? The bathroom might have been on the whole other side of the rink, I don't know what the rink looks like or what the situation there is, but yeah, ideally, yeah, if you're looking at the correct thing, you're not gonna just kind of whip it out and do it in a drain, in a public building like that. Granted, there are no people around at the time. That's the argument that I hear, but you still wouldn't do it, right? It still doesn't make it right. And another thing, I hate to be that guy, but they sell things for people with medical issues like that. If you happen to have an onset of that, they have things that you can wear and whatnot, So if he knew he had this issue, and that's it, from what it sounds like, it's been an issue for him, he should have handled it that way, getting, purchasing things that you could wear or whatever, if an emergency like that were to happen, because you can't happen to think, say it was, for whatever miraculous reason the Red Wings are in the playoffs and you're their Zamboni guy and you're in the middle of, cleaning the ice for a second, third period or whatever, and there's thousands of people, and you get one of these onsets mid cleaning the ice. What do? You're going to get off and whip it out in the middle of the ice, run off? Like, that's weird. Like, you wouldn't do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you can argue it that way. And then another thing, how I think of it is like we're in this weird time in our life, right? Where, where everything's like rules and things change a lot, right? Like a lot of people are more offended of certain things and
public perspective
and this and that, and like it's like this big deal. So you got that, and you can't help but to think there happened to be probably a Karen or something happened to get a hold of this surveillance video or whatever that made a big deal out of it, and as if this were to happen 10 years ago, maybe, or maybe a little more than 10 years ago, I don't think this would have been that big of a deal.
I mean, probably.
Again, you can look at it different ways, and, I don't know.
Probably in the 60s and 70s, there's probably the GM right there taking a whiz with you for sure. It's like I said, it's a really hard thing to kind of think of, like at the, on the outside with no context, it's a kind of a goofy thing to like read about and kind of think about. But I mean, who knows what this guy's problem is, maybe he really did have to go right there. You just never know. I kind of feel like just automatically firing him was a little bit of a quick move to judgment. I think I'm not sure if he was brought in and talked to about it or like got his side of the story. And health problems, they do exist, and
absolutely.
And we're not trying to we're not trying to say that health problems are these kind of things are nothing to sniff at, because I mean we all have our problems and nobody really knows until they're in that situation. It's just kind of a strange thing to hear about.
It is, yeah. It's like, yeah. When I saw it, like I'll be honest, I kind of like chuckled about it when I first saw it. This just happened like this last month or whatever, since last time we recorded, and I was just like, I even took a screenshot on my phone of like, because it was just like a news article on Instagram or something. I was like, I need to take a screen because I want to bring this up on our next one, because it's just like,
yeah,
since we do these monthly or whatnot. But yeah,
and I mean, of course it has to happen to somebody in Detroit, right? For the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, they kind of did good this year, but I mean they've still been a little laughable at times, so it's just that's almost kind of like the sugar on top for the Detroit Red Wings franchise right now.
Well, yeah, and that's all us Colorado guys, right? We have a whole different perspective on that than maybe other people would from other places and whatnot, but yeah, it's like it's funny to us, it's like it figures.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, Chicago Blackhawks fans and folks in Chicago would probably be giggling about it too at first.
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah, it's weird, it's kind of goofy. Like, I guess we're trying to make light of the situation. I know there's a little more that goes into it. I mean, a guy after 50 years has lost his job because of it, and I guess he's taken the Detroit Red Wings franchise to court for it as well.
I think that's what I've heard, and again, I can't confirm it or deny it or whatever. I swear I heard that somewhere, but I don't know. I don't know if he has a good chance of winning this one if he is doing it. It's a tough one, man. Like any big companies and stuff obviously has a HR department as you should, and have like that's a really tough part on that side too, right? Like, I mean, you show a video of a guy whipping out his ding dong, on camera, where it's technically it's a public where other employees could have walked by, whatever. That's a tough one to like. How do you, like, oh, it's okay, all that. Yeah, like,
It really
I don't know.
is. I mean, in real light of it, it's kind of unprofessional. But like I said, man, you don't know how bad this guy's got it, and I mean, we'll never know the full story for sure. And we'll never be in his shoes. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing that happened.
Yeah. Well, Well, hey, man, let's move on from the ding-dong talk. We spent too much time on it. Well, again, I thought it was worth bringing it up, but
yeah, it's interesting for sure. It's noteworthy.
You guys can leave us your thoughts in the comments.
Probably, maybe some hate mail. I don't know. Depends on which way you look at this one. But we're not downplaying any physical or mental, handicaps or anything like that. So
right. But there's been a lot of kind of like a bunch of drama going on in the hockey world a little bit. Another one I want to bring up to you is, I don't know if you saw, there's an article floating around that some Jersey freak is suing Adidas, apparently.
Yeah, David Inouye. I'm not.
I would not dare to try to spell the man's last name. I can barely speak English as it is.
Yeah, it's
but yeah, a gentleman by the name of David, a Florida man. I think he's from Florida.
Oh, another Florida man in the headlines here.
Basically, the census is he's upset at Adidas. Adidas has came out of quite a few jerseys over the years, and they just came recently. They came with the retros and whatnot. But anyways, what we're getting at is a lot of jerseys. Adidas claims them to be authentic, and David's argument is that they are not authentic. They're nothing close to authentic, and he's basically, you're charging people about $180 plus for these jerseys, and they're not what you say they are.
Even more if you get a name on it.
Yep, and therefore he's not happy, and he's suing Adidas. Where are you at with that?
Well, this one's pretty dicey as well. I mean, we've been very privy to a lot of crazy, like not crazy, but like very adamant jersey collectors in our day. We know a few of them that really harp on the major details. And I mean, with I think it was Stick and Puck 2 and 3, actually, we kind of touched on what our thoughts are on jersey collecting and just jerseys in general. But there are people out there that are very hardcore with it, that are like down to the very detail. They'll, I mean, if they're buying jerseys and putting patches on, they're putting it in the exact spot that the NHL would have had it, or they harp on the exact stitching, the exact coordinates of everything on the jersey. And I kind of think it's a bit of a frivolous sort of thing to really put all your apples in one basket, to really go out and actually sue a corporation just for from what I've been told, from what you've told me already, and I think you're going to get into this for a second, it's really all about just like collar metrics and like.
So he gets really into the details, and some of those. I had the article pulled up, and I'm sorry I don't have it on me right now, but I read through it a little while back, and I might not remember it all, and maybe some people that are watching might know, but. From what I can remember, I mean, he really gets into the details. First things, the material of the jersey. He was arguing that, and I can remember. I think he said that the player's material is thicker, and the jerseys that you get from that they claim to be authentic are much thinner in material. So it's right. Like he's arguing that it's like a whole different material. And it could have been vice versa, but it had to do with that. He argued like measurements of the collar, like it's either smaller or larger, that sort of thing. He went down to stitching, that the stitching's quite different. He argued manufacturers. He said that the players' jerseys all are made in Canada. However,
the illustrious MICs that
are made in overseas, and again I can't remember exactly where it was, the exact country, but it was overseas.
Indonesia.
I believe it was Indonesia. Yeah. So that's what he's arguing, and basically, and his other argument is like, so they on their collars when you buy them, the tags say authentic, Adidas, whatever.
Right.
And on top of that, there's other distributors, other companies that sell those jerseys for Adidas, also claim on their advertisements, come buy our authentic Adidas jerseys. And he's not having it, and and yeah, so on and so forth. And yeah, I mean, you can see both sides of that as well, right?
Right.
I could see, like, if you're this hardcore jersey collector guy, whatever, you want to have exactly what the players have, but I get it, a lot of those jerseys, that we collect, they cost a lot of money, man. I mean, you and I both can say we have thousands of dollars of jerseys in our closets sitting invested, in these jersey collections. I might not be as extreme as maybe some of the guys are, but like I could give two shits of the collar or whatever, or even if it's thinner or thicker or whatever. For me personally, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be wearing it to play a hockey game. I wear it to go out to a game or whatever, and there's a good chance I'm going to get a beer poured on me, or I'm going to...
Some ketchup, some mustard.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's from the chicken fingers, gravy, whatever. Whatever have you. Like, and that's the thing, too, is you don't want to be sitting there just gingerly eating everything just because you spent more than $500 on a sweater.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, the things that I would care about is making sure that the patches that are on the jersey in the right spots, that sort of thing, right? Nothing's crooked. I would care about things like that. I guess I would care a little bit about stitching. You can really, like, very poor stitching is very visible.
Right.
I probably would care about that. If it's thinner or thicker, that sort of thing, and the sizing of the collars and like getting into like the nitty and gritty, so to speak. Like, I don't know if I would really give a shit, honestly.
Does it really kill you to be just a few millimeters or centimeters off from the actual collar that the guys wear?
Yeah.
Is that really going to kill you? Like when if you're playing hockey with these jerseys? Which, I mean, if you're spending $600 on a jersey, why are you playing hockey with it anyways? That's just my thoughts. But yeah, at the very end, like, I kind of feel like this guy's grasping at straws a little bit, really, really splitting hairs when it gets down to it, man. It's, we all love hockey jerseys. That's not, there's no, there's no hiding that. Obviously, we're wearing hockey jerseys now. You just said we've spent thousands of dollars ourselves on jerseys. But in the real end, yeah, everybody, a lot of like hardcore collectors love getting MICs. That's one of the grail snipes for a lot of these hardcore collectors. And you know what? Go for it, man. But I mean, when it really comes down to it, who gives a flying shit about a couple of millimeters?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. You can see both sides on this one too, and.
Well, yeah, and you want to feel just as official as the guys that are going out on the ice. I get that. A lot of people like to live vicariously through these awesome dudes that we get to watch play hockey every day, every other day. Sure. I get that. I totally get that. And if you really want to feel as official with them, for sure, that's fine. But I mean, to go this far to really sue Adidas, obviously there's avenues to get real made in Canada jerseys. And if Adidas were to sell the actual on-ice jerseys, they would sell it for a lot more money than what a lot of us have.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, where's the argument really here? I mean, it's okay. So they're not selling the actual on-ice, just top shit stuff.
Yeah.
But don't you realize that if they did, the jerseys are already expensive enough. And they're not on ice.
Yeah.
You think they're going to go through all this trouble to do an on-ice jersey that they only make so many of just for the players for a reason, and not just inflate that price like crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know.
I mean, shit, dude.
To me, again, like, me personally, again, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. Like, you really, really have to jack something up for me to be, like, genuinely upset. I would not make this that big of a deal. To me, again, and I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but this looks like another, like, I ordered this hot coffee and I spilt it on my leg and I burned myself.
And your cup
because
didn't
your
say hot
cup didn't
coffee.
say that it's
Yeah.
hot. That's kind of like,
Yeah.
what this comes off to me. And again, take it for what it is. That's my personal opinion. I'm sure other people have other opinions on it, but
And I mean, real hardcore jersey collectors, tell us what you think, man, because I just fail to see the true, just the true soldierism in this,
yeah.
Like, are you really doing this just like so people can get on ice quality, or are you really just kind of trying to make a quick buck?
Yeah.
Or get some free shit, I don't know.
People, let us know.
Yeah, for real.
What do you think?
So, all right. So that's a little bit of like, goofiness and drama that's going down, within the bureaucracy of the game, I suppose. Let's actually talk about the game. I mean, the IIHFs are going on right now. The playoffs are going on right now. Let's talk about the IIHFs for a second. And I know you're huge with the IIHFs. I mean, you get to see all your countrymen play. And I mean, all these countries get to come together and really play some hockey in this tournament. It's a great tournament, and everybody loves it.
Dude, it's it's probably one of the biggest for all the hockey fans, in Europe. That's probably one of the biggest events every year is the World Championships. Not only you get lucky to go to this certain location and hang out with all these fans and root for your country, but you also get to see a lot of times these NHL players play on ice that you don't get to see to play because they're overseas playing. Not everyone can fly to the United States and go to an NHL game.
Right.
It costs a boatload of money, so it's like a huge thing. It's like, oh, he plays for the Ducks. He play,
Right.
It's like a big thing. It's a big party. People love it. That's what I grew up. Outside of NHL, that was like World Championships. Was a big deal.
That was your dose of hockey for sure, especially.
It was huge. It was being proud of where you're from, but also like being able to see some of these NHLers, kind of like in your own, like on your own soil, so to speak. In
your home colors,
Mm-hmm.
playing for pride and just truly just playing hockey.
Yeah, but one thing that I've noticed, and that's like, I mean, granted, I've been here in United States for a long time now. We've said this before. I have officially outlived my European days. I've lived in the United States longer than I did in Europe at this point.
Right.
But I can't help but to notice that most everyone does not give a shit about.
In the U.S.
the World
sure.
Championships. Yeah.
Not unless you're you're a real hardcore hockey guy.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just like a casual observer of the NHL or whatever have you in your own home state or whatever. It's just, the World Championships, the Junior World Championships. If you're not a hardcore hockey guy, you could probably just go walk by it and not even bat an eyelash at it. And I think I have the solution to this. I've thought about this for a lot of years. Just being a hockey fan, is that the timing of the tournament is just awful.
I can see that.
Because it's always during the NHL
playoffs. Yeah.
And even if you are a bit more than a casual observer, like a constant observer of the NHL in general, obviously you're going to be worried, especially you're going to be worried about the NHL playoffs, especially if your team is in it. If you're, whoever fan you are, you're obviously going to be fully focused on the NHL playoffs more than anything else around you.
Sure.
And
yeah.
I mean, what are we? We're in the second round, just started the second round of the playoffs, and we've just started the World Championships, right? And I mean, I'm a hardcore hockey guy. I love watching hockey. I'll watch hockey. You put it in front of me, I'll shut the fuck up and just watch hockey.
Sure.
And I mean, I'm a huge Team Sweden guy, so obviously IIHF, any sort of, international tournament, Olympics, whatever have you, I'm going to watch, I'm going to cheer for Sweden. But it's going on during the NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
One of the most intense times of hockey, of just some of the best hockey, obviously. Excuse me. So what I propose is maybe moving the IIHF World Championships to a month after the NHL playoffs end.
Yeah, no, that would make a lot of sense, and that's like one of the bigger things that in the IIHF.
That's why I started saying double I. It's too hard to say I.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, one of the biggest things that you notice is that's like constantly an updated news thing throughout the tournament is which one of your NHL players is going to come defend his country.
Right.
So like for a good example, say Pittsburgh just fell out, they lost to New York. Right. Like the Latvians are like, is Steady coming? Is Steady flying to Finland right now, and he's gonna come help us possibly get into the top 4 or whatever.
Right.
Like things like that, and that goes for not only Latvia, Sweden, all these teams, right? Like they really, really, are they want these NHL guys. That's like those are their guys that's gonna. That help them take them to the promised land, get them some medals or whatever,
Right, make a statement at least, especially for the smaller countries.
Absolutely, and you do have a good point. If they did this tournament later on after the playoffs or whatever, there's a good chance that most everyone's gonna fly over to the tournament and defend their country. Like it's family dependent and stuff like that too. Of course, not everyone's gonna do it, but
right.
But still, I think the outcome would be much larger in that sense than, just kind of sitting watching the NHL playoffs and in a shitty way almost like, oh, I hope they fall out so you can come help us.
Like, yeah, the IIHF is literally just putting itself in the shadow of the NHL. And if we did it a month later, anybody who isn't hurt or isn't done playing, doesn't want to stop playing hockey, they can go over and help. And I mean that's huge namesake. All these teams that get into the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals and got the finals, they're gonna have huge names on the roster that had you scheduled this tournament a month later, you'd have these big names wanting to play and drawing more crowds. Not to mention, you would have more TV space for that hockey. You would have these guys who are that maybe just got into the sport by the playoffs, the NHL playoffs, or just guys who casually watching hockey, all the way to hardcore hockey fans. A month after the NHL playoffs, you're craving for hockey. I know I am.
Sure, absolutely.
And you've got this stint where there's zero hockey. Why not put the World Championships a month after, or far be it, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, who knows? But you will have so much more exposure to the not just hockey, but the international game of hockey as well.
Sure. Yeah.
And you will be able to play more games rather than in the U.S. The NHL network runs the gamut on playing IIHF games, and you only get to see 1 or 2. When there's at least 4 or 5 games going on a day in the round robin, and even kind of working up to that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can see more teams and more players can play for their respective countries, especially now that you don't see the NHL going over to the Olympics.
Yeah. No. You made great points. Every single one of them has been a spectacular point. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Maybe there is a reason why they do it, who knows.
Right.
But yeah, it would make so much more sense. It really would.
I just always thought of that, man. It's just I feel like there'd be so much more exposure to, even players that don't play in the NHL to see, for other folks overseas, either direction, to be exposed to, more hockey to be exposed to, more teams out in the world that you would, dude, if you would ask like a couple casual hockey observers, does Italy have a hockey team? Does Great Britain have a hockey team? That just watches the NHL, casually? No, absolutely not. But that'll open up a whole new, that'll open up their eyes to, a whole lot more countries around the world are playing
hockey.
The game.
Yeah. No, and you bringing that point too is like the coverage in the United States of IIHF is kind of crappy too.
It's criminal.
I mean, NHL Network's done a pretty good job, and honestly, they really have. They've tried to broadcast a bunch of these games as much as they can. But where I have the beef is, it's always going to be the popular teams. It's going to be U.S. It's going to be Canada. It's going to be Sweden, Finland.
Yeah.
Those teams, right? And yeah, so they're great teams and they're fun to watch. But like teams like Latvia and Great Britain and Italy, they kind of get the shitty end of the stick.
Czech,
90% of the time. And kind of sucks. Like,
right.
I look forward, to watch some of these games, and like I wish I'd be able to watch all these games without having to figure out some weird, sketchy bootleg way to see them. Like
like streaming from a site in Turkey.
Yeah, that's just the thing, and like for example, even like great example right now, like me following Latvia. Like I was lucky to see 2 games. Of course, they broadcast the one they played against the United States.
Obviously.
And of course, they broadcasted the one they played against Finland.
Right.
But from now on, like looking at, like, there's crickets, like there's a bunch of these other teams or whatever. But like they play tomorrow, they play Czech. Czech Republic, and it is a very, very, very important game for Latvia.
Absolutely.
Because that could essentially, if the cards play out right, get them into the top 4.
Right.
That's a very, like, interesting game to watch. But, again, here we are trying to figure out a way to bootleg it somewhere, because you're not going to see it.
No coverage, for sure. And I think, honestly, now that ESPN has, picked up the NHL, the NHL broadcasting, if this had been scheduled at any other time during the NHL playoffs, I guarantee you at some point at one of ESPN's 100 channels, obviously that's a rash generalization, but one of their channels could have picked up a few more of those games.
Yeah. I mean, God forbid they freaking broadcasted the KHL before what happened. Like,
yeah, and
how many people watch KHL in the United States?
For real, seriously.
I could probably fucking do it on my fingers,
Yeah, like the few Russians that still love the KHL, or anybody else that is just oddly aware of, not oddly, but genuinely aware of the KHL. But I feel like the IIHF has more public draw. Not just the Russian hockey fans or Russians in general or anything like that, or Finnish fans that love Jokerit, or Latvian fans, obviously, Chinese fans, whatever, Kulin Red Star fans, if you will. But I mean, I don't know how many of those are actually in the U.S. But what I'm driving at is more exposure. Like, if you really want to expand the game, if everybody's so willing to just be like, yeah, let's expand the game. We want people in, Jamaica playing hockey. We want people in blah, blah, blah playing hockey. That's the way you do it. You pick a good time to do it. And during the NHL playoffs, if your team is still in it, not a lot of action. I mean, obviously, you and I will watch it. I mean, just for you being a native Latvian, and me just being generally loving hockey, watching hockey. Everybody loving watching hockey will watch it. But what happens to the people that don't have the NHL network? There's a lot of people out there that doesn't.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that their teams from the playoffs either didn't even make it or just got dropped. Especially for the teams that just got dropped, you're still in hockey gear. You still, like, let's fucking go kind of stuff. So I mean, give them something in a year, or
Yeah.
I mean a month. In a month.
No,
A year might be too much.
we get it. I think we get what you're trying to put down there.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, good arguments, man. And yeah, it would be interesting to see. Maybe something does change, years from now or whatever. I mean, it's been the same for years and years. This hasn't changed ever. So part of me again, like maybe there's like a reason for it, but I don't know what it would be. Obviously COVID ruined a bunch of stuff years back. I mean, last championship was in Latvia. That was a shit show. It was all this bubble,
Yeah, it was at the same time though. It's been at the same time every year. Like always during the NHL playoffs.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, there has to be some higher ups or whatever, that have to have argued this statement before, and
Right.
and
I would hope.
and there might be a reason behind it that we don't know about. But yeah,
Yeah,
good combo.
We're just two dudes on a mic in a garage, eh?
Exactly.
Change the world.
Trying to be popular here,
For sure.
trying to be these big podcasters,
Making that money.
big famous guys.
That big
yeah.
money. Getting that spin tickets
Manscaped,
money.
give us a sponsorship.
Oh yeah, seriously, Labatt's Blue. This podcast is sponsored by you. Nah. Anyway, so I do have one more thing I want to talk about, and it's fans. I've noticed this more ever since the Avalanche have gotten better, obviously, and more fan appeal and stuff, and fan identity. I guess I really want to talk about. So many teams that have a really solid fan base, they have an identity. I mean, with Nashville, when you score a goal, they, have the goalie chant like "Soros, Soros, you suck. It's all your fault," which is awesome, and that adds to their identity. They're throwing catfish out on the ice and stuff. That's an identity.
Sure.
And for the longest time, the Avalanche never really had a fan identity. Arizona Coyotes fans don't have an identity. I mean,
maybe we should have brought those guys up. They're in shithole right now. Anyways, keep going.
It normally happens to teams that are going through a super long kind of success drought. But I mean, even Montreal fans have an identity. Buffalo Sabres fans have an identity, and so I kind of want to just remark on just the greatness of actually having an identity as a fan base again.
Yeah. So where are you getting with this?
Well, I mean, obviously, a lot of folks, a lot of hockey fans on Twitter and Instagram are going to see Avs fans posting about how halfway through the game, if the Avs are winning, we're singing all the small things. Once the puck drops, we're still singing it. Blink-182's all the small things.
Yep. They play halfway and then they stop it, and then the whole crowd finishes the song essentially.
And it's just cool. It's really great to have that. But I gotta call out the Carolina Hurricanes fans. I was watching the last series against the Bruins, and you know what, dude, you got the storm surge at the end of the game when you win. Great, keep that. But don't fucking take all the small things from us. I was watching the game, and they tried doing the same damn thing.
Really?
During the game, I believe it was game 7, and yeah, all the small things started playing, and it just hit me. I was like, they better not. And sure enough, some of the folks in the crowd are trying to do all the small things. I'm like, dude, you've got your storm surge, you've got an identity. This is our identity. Don't try to take that. Fuck you.
Yeah, I can see how a hardcore fan can get upset about that.
No, for sure.
You know what? It's Jacob Slavin's fault. He told them.
Colorado College.
He was told them, he's like, hey, man, when I lived in Colorado, this is what we did.
Yeah.
When I went to the Avs games before I was an NHLer, this is what they did.
And that's, yeah.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jacob. I'm sure you didn't do that.
You're probably a great guy. We sure love you here anyways. But I mean, maybe not go as far as saying fuck you, but dude, you already got something. You guys already have something. You have the storm surge. You don't see other teams trying to do some goofy little skits after they win. So I mean,
yeah,
that's ours. So just keep your own identity. Don't try to. That's like you know, the Arizona Coyotes or, you know, I don't know, the Philadelphia Flyers trying to, you know, do the same thing that the Montreal Canadiens do before games where they take out the torch and they light the center of ice on fire, you know?
Sure.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, you've got your own thing. Let's, you know, keep it that way. You know, it's working out great for you, obviously. You pissed off Don Cherry enough, so right there, you're already doing something right. So, no, I mean, Don Cherry gets mad about everything, so, I mean, it's not that hard, but I mean, still, you've made your own identity. Don't try to steal some other team's identity.
No.
And I guess the only reason why I'm really kind of like so defensive about it is because for a while, you know, the Colorado Avalanche fans didn't really have an identity. You know, they were just bland. You know, like the Greg Sherman era, there was just, you know, it was like, dude, it almost seemed like that the Avs fans didn't even care.
The Pit of Misery, was that Colorado thing, or did they do it everywhere?
There's been a few places that's done that, and
because that one was pretty good, and they don't do it anymore. That might have been mostly like a sponsorship thing with Bud Light.
I would totally assume, and I mean it does work really well, and I have heard it in different stadiums and stuff, but I mean just don't touch what we created, you know. I mean, nobody's out there trying to like recreate the Storm Surge or making it, you know, the post game Avalanche or anything. You know, we did that ourselves. You know, just let us have it. You got your Storm Surge. Don't try to, you know. I mean, how fake. That's all I gotta say about it. Is that just
good points, dude? I have nothing to add to that. Fans from other teams, stay away from our traditions. Keep your own traditions, and we'll be a happy family, and we'll be a happy hockey community.
I mean, it's truly that you guys. It's truly creative that you guys did the Storm Surge. You got that. Cool. Stick with it. I mean, nobody gives a shit. Otherwise, just don't take other people's shit.
There you go. You heard it from Cody Beekman, fellas. Stop messing with that shit. Yeah. Well, Beeks, it's that time, I think. The Zamboni's coming out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's been a beautiful stick and puck right there, man. I feel like we covered a lot of pretty decent topics in this one. So, I mean, shall we say goodbye?
Goodbye, people. We'll see you in the next one, probably in a month or so.
Absolutely. So always tie up your skates, tape your stick, and join us for another stick and puck session.
That's right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.